Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to my review and thoughts on Genshin Impact. So I've played this game for about 20 hours or so, maybe a little more. It's hard to say because I don't really have a way of knowing how much time I've spent. But I've done like the first major quest in Mondstadt, and then I've moved on to the new area, the Liyue Harbor area. And I've been exploring the map. I've opened up the whole map. I've opened up all the statues and doing a lot of the teleport points as well. So overall, I've had a decent time. It's been fun. Like normally for someone like me, I play a lot of games. I start a game and usually I lose interest after an hour or two. With this one, I've actually managed to put in about 20 hours. So that in itself is a bit unusual for me these days. There are a lot of good things about this game, but also a few really bad things. Now, first and foremost, the world is very beautiful. That is the biggest attraction for me. The world, the locations. There's some amazing areas in the map that you can just explore and see. Unique architecture, excellent visuals. It runs very well. Yeah, it's locked at 60 FPS, but I had no issues running it on the highest setting on my RX 570. So the gameplay involves just you fighting enemies, and there's a bit of puzzle elements here and there. And the combat is, for the most part, rather straightforward. I haven't died once, as far as I can tell, with any of these random fights. Occasionally, I've run into enemies that were a bit higher level, and I just quickly ran away or switched characters and healed or something. It's not terribly difficult. The story itself is also not too complex. It's straightforward. It's nothing special. It's simple. So overall, the game is a very casual, relaxing sort of game. Now, the first thing is I was not expecting this to be good from a single player point of view, but it is actually a open world single player game in my opinion. And I've played it like that and it's been fine. The bad part involves, of course, the gacha element where you have to get your characters and you can only get them by random wishes, which are the game's equivalent of loot boxes. Now, there are several ways in the game to get those wishes by not actually spending money, but involves a little bit of grinding. At the start, you get a lot of wishes quite easily. You can convert your primo gems and other things into the Acquaint Fate and the Intertwined Fate quite easily. After a while, obviously, it's not going to be easy and you'll have to spend some real money. You don't really need to get the different characters as long as you have one of the basic types. Now, from what I understand, there are 7 different elements in the game. I haven't so far come across the need for the 7th element, but I have characters for each of the 6 different elements. In fact, I have multiples in some of them and all of them for free. I think I have 10 characters unlocked. I've leveled up 3 or 4 of them quite a bit. So I've never run into any issues progressing the game or been stuck. If you just play the game, do your quest, do some of the world quests, the side quests, etc. and you'll be fine. You'll have no issues leveling up. I'm at adventure rank 20 at the moment. And what I tend to do is normally start a game, pick a side quest or pick a main quest and just follow that thread and complete that quest. It usually takes an hour or so. And that's it for me. I just come back and then play a bit more again. Occasionally, if there's something nearby, like a teleport point or something, I open it, maybe do some chests and stuff, defeat enemies, things like that. So yeah, overall, as a single player solo experience, it's been very fun. It's been relaxing, casual, nothing too challenging. It's very, very good looking, the world. And that has been my main reason for playing the game, as I mentioned earlier as well. Like the world and exploring the unique locations, some very, very beautiful places. You have to climb really high in some mountain areas and do some quests on top of the mountain peaks, etc. I liked all of those parts. There's this very beautiful restaurant on top of a giant tree. That was like a very, very nice area. So yeah, all those things are what I liked about the game. Now, the problems with this game are that eventually, once you get to higher adventure ranks, I would say in the 30s, in the high 30s, I think you'll hit a wall and it'll be a very sudden wall. And you'll have completed the story quests and the world quests. And the only thing for you to do would be just to grind and level up your characters. Now, I'm personally not interested in any of that. I'll probably stop playing once I've had my fill. I've done all the quests and once I start getting bored a bit. I'm already starting to feel a bit bored with some of the things, but I've been focusing on the main quest, so I haven't really been bothered that much. But eventually, it will be at a point where it won't be fun anymore to just keep grinding, at least for me. Now, the main source of income for these guys is, of course, you buy those characters by making those wishes. So you spend money, you get the wishes, I guess open 10 wishes or something, and hope you get the character that you want. Now, if you see YouTubers spending $600, $1,000, for them, it's not a big deal because obviously they can make that money back with the views they get if they get a lot of views on their videos. But for a normal person, that is insane. I feel that if they had actually made this as a single player game, reduced the grinding to like single player levels, I guess, and sold it as a $60 open world game, a Zelda clone, I think this would have done really well as well. And I would have given this like a 10 out of 10 and said like excellent game, very casual, very fun. Not too challenging, obviously, but fun, nice world to explore. But they have put the gacha elements, and obviously they'll make a lot more money. Now, I've read that in the first 2 weeks alone, they made $100 million from the US. So unfortunately, that tells me that this pay to win model, I won't call it pay to win, but it is the gambling model. This is going to stay. And that is why I say this is a good game, but bad for gaming, because all those companies like Activision, EA, Ubisoft, they'll look at this and say, this is working, so we need to do more of this. So yeah, unfortunately, on its own, not a bad game, but its success could be bad for the gaming industry. And that is a little troubling for me. I know how these things work, so I'm not bothered. I haven't spent any money yet so far in this game. My policy usually is to spend a little bit of money just to support the game, support the team behind it, the developers of the game. But in this game, there is no direct way of doing that. You have to spend money on the gambling elements. For example, I play Apex Legends, and in Apex Legends, they also have loot boxes. But if, let's say, you want a particular skin for a character, you can actually buy the skin directly, even though it's overpriced as hell, like $18 for a legendary skin in Apex. But at least you have the option to buy the skin that you want. Here, there is no option like that. You have to spend the money, gamble, and hope you get the skin or the character you want. That I don't like. So there is no way of me supporting the game without the gambling aspect. So yeah, I have mixed thoughts on this game. I feel like if this was just a single player game, this would have been a very nice game, a nice Zelda clone, and everybody would have enjoyed this. The animations are good, the graphics are good, voice acting is good. As I said, the world is amazing. I think this is one of the nicest open world games I've played. I've stopped on many occasions just to take screenshots of certain areas. It's that good looking. But the gacha elements, the gambling stuff, that is disappointing to say the least. And yeah, unfortunately, with this game's success, that is something that's going to stay. Play it as a free-to-play game, enjoy it for the 15, 20, 30 hours, but don't support the gambling side of things if you can. I know some people have addictive personalities and they'll end up spending hundreds, maybe even thousands in this game, and I don't think it's worth it at all. If this was like a single player $60 game, I would have very little to say against it. But this is really bad. And this is very successful, which again, I'm not surprised because of how good the game is. It is worrying for me to see this game become so successful so quickly as well. But I read somewhere that the official Discord has more members than Fortnite or even Minecraft, and it's been only out for like a month, less than a month, I think. So yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts. Wanted to share them because I do like it. As I said, I do enjoy many aspects of it, and it's been one of those games that I've actually spent some time in because I don't spend a lot of time in a lot of games. A handful of games I play, and other games I just check out for a few hours and that's it. So there are a lot of good things here, but yeah, there's one big major flaw. It depends on your personality at the end of the day. If you have willpower and if you're not somebody who falls into these addictive traps, then you should be fine. But people who are sort of people who want to collect everything, who want to get all the characters, who want to upgrade their characters, they will struggle. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this. Overall, decent game, but I wish it wasn't so predatory in its monetization.